is Lenny Vermoss. This is my email address as well as my home website. Additional materials and documents can be found on this website with lots of other activities. The instructional strategy that we're going to look at today that you'll see demonstrated is you take the right side and I'll take the left side. This is probably an algebra activity the way it's set up. What it does is that you give the students an equation and the students pair up. One person takes the left-hand side of the equation, the other person takes the right-hand side of the equation, and they have to work together to solve the equation. And the nice thing about it is you're kind of balancing. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. And I would also add to it another step you can do is you take the right side, I take the left side, and someone does the rationale for it. So it's like you're going to be using community property to describe what you did to both sides. And again, what you're going to do is you're just going to be allowed to work on your side of the equation, and then you need to communicate with the other person what they're going to be doing to their side of the equation until you come up with a solution. So what we're actually going to do is you take the left side, and since we're in groups, and you can do this in groups of 2 or 3, is you take the left side, I take the right side, and then if you want a group of 3, I always like with solving equations putting the reason why on the right-hand side. Okay? So we're going to solve some equations like this. And I have an example we're going to do, but what we're going to do is on your response sheets is I want one of you to work only on the left-hand side. The other person has to do the right-hand side. What I like about this for algebra is it means you need to talk to each other so that you can say, well, I'm going to add 5 to this side, you have to add 5 to that side. Okay? Now, then you can add the rationale there. So what I want you to do is I want you can pair, let's pair up. So why don't you pair up? I think that might work a little bit better. If we've got an odd number, go with a group of 3. But what I want you to do is on one person's paper, now you can't have 2 different papers. One person paper, one of you take the left, or I guess you can do one person does theirs the left side, the other person does the right. So I want you to solve this equation. Okay?
And I'm going to subtract 2, so I'll give you the 2.
The advantage of right side, you take the right side and I take the left side, is that the students working together. And you'll notice as they were working, there was always that tendency to kind of want to write on the other person's paper or on the other side of the equation. But so there's a lot of communication that goes back and forth between the students on what you're doing, what I need to do. If they do it incorrectly, they explain to each other. So there's a lot of communication that goes on between the partners as they're working. And also kind of explaining, because we all know that when we do equations that there's not one way to come up with the answers, there's multiple ways, and you can kind of show those multiple ways or kind of help the student to see that there's more than one way to solve the equation.